Just think about it for a moment. Something hidden deep underground for more than 2,000 years, untouched by human hands, sleeping silently in the dark, waiting to be discovered for decades. The Terracotta Army of China has been called the greatest archaeological discovery of our time. Thousands of soldiers, horses, and weapons buried with the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, to protect him in the afterlife. But now, something has been found that is not just another soldier, not another horse, not another piece of armor, but a commander, a figure so mysterious, so different, that it challenges everything we thought we knew about this ancient wonder. His face, his armor, his weapons, even the strange designs carved around his tomb, do not match anything seen before. It is as if history itself had hidden him from us, and only now, after 2,000 years, he has come back to remind us that the past is far more complex than we ever imagined. It was late 2024, in the same province of Shaanxi where the Terracotta Army had been first uncovered back in 1974. The excavation site was not in the main tourist zone where millions of visitors go every year. Instead, it was in a quieter, less explored area, one that had been ignored for years because no one believed there was anything special to find there. But ground-penetrating radar scans told a different story. At about 15 meters below the surface, archaeologists noticed unusual patterns, structures that did not match the rest of the site. At first, it looked like just another chamber, but then something stranger appeared: magnetic anomalies, unusual energy readings, pulses and waves that repeated again and again. Many thought it was simply a machine glitch, but when different devices showed the same strange signals, the experts knew that something unusual was waiting below. By January 2024, the site was completely sealed. Security guards surrounded it. Barriers were placed all around, and only the core excavation team was allowed inside. To the outside world, officials said it was routine survey work, but the truth was very different. The archaeologists, historians, geologists, and metallurgy experts working there knew they were chasing something extraordinary. At first, the team uncovered nothing but ordinary soil and fragments. Weeks passed, but then, in March, everything changed. A spade struck something unusually hard. Slowly, the earth was cleared away, and a wall appeared, stone mixed with metal, strong, shining faintly in the dim light. This was unlike anything ever seen at a Terracotta Army site before. The chamber was built differently. It was not a simple pit of clay soldiers. It was an elongated structure, like a tunnel leading to a grand tomb. The path to the tomb itself was unusual, winding like a spiral, decorated with small pottery pieces carved with strange markings. These symbols had never been recorded at any other site in China. The deeper the team dug, the clearer it became that they were uncovering something far beyond a simple burial. And then, at the four corners of the tomb, they found small clay horses. But unlike the regular terracotta horses, these had eyes carved from a special stone that shimmered even in low light. Their craftsmanship was too advanced, too precise, as if someone had given them a spiritual or mystical significance. What shook the team the most was the discovery of the weapons. Unlike the usual bronze spears and swords that had amazed the world back in the 1970s, these were different. 3 bronze spears were uncovered first. They were heavier, longer, and decorated with golden carvings that glowed faintly when torchlight hit them. They looked as though they had been made just yesterday. No rust, no wear, nothing that suggested they had been underground for 2,000 years. Alongside them was a stone tablet with embossed writings. Most of it was in ancient Chinese, but there were symbols that no one recognized. They looked like a forgotten language or perhaps a code. Some experts even whispered that they might represent maps of the stars or celestial signs, though nothing was confirmed. Finally, after weeks of clearing, the entrance of the tomb was revealed. It was sealed with heavy stone and metal. Everyone at the site felt the weight of the moment. When the seal was broken, a cold breeze rushed out, as if the air of 2,000 years had just been freed. Dust floated in the torchlight, making it feel as though a portal had opened into another world. The walls inside the chamber were covered in red, black, and gold symbols, some showing scenes of war, others strange rituals that no one could explain. And in the center of the chamber, on a raised stone platform, stood a magnificent clay statue. The commander. This was no ordinary terracotta soldier. His face was sharper, more lifelike, with deep eyes and a faint, confident smile that seemed to look right through anyone who gazed at him. His height was unusual too. While most terracotta soldiers stood around 5 feet 8 inches tall, this one measured close to 6 feet 2 inches, broad-shouldered, powerful, commanding. His armor was unlike anything else, carved with dragon and cloud patterns. Decorated with traces of gold, it symbolized not just strength, but heavenly blessing. Even the clothing under his armor was sculpted differently with embroidery patterns of mountains, waves, and stars. His posture was not straight like the other soldiers, but leaning slightly forward, as if he was giving orders, planning strategy, ready to command an army even after death. At his feet lay a sword, but not an ordinary sword. It was ceremonial, small, and carved with designs that made it clear this was not just a weapon, but a symbol of leadership. Next to him, however, was a much larger weapon, a sword 1.5 meters long, balanced perfectly, sharper than anything the experts had ever seen. When tested, the sword was found to be made of a metal mixture containing traces of tungsten and titanium, materials that should not have existed in Chinese metallurgy 2,000 years ago. The shield was even stranger, round, with golden edges and a dragon surrounded by stars carved in the center. Experts suggested it might represent a celestial map, a guide to the heavens, used to predict fate in war. Other objects inside the tomb made things even more mysterious. There were bows and arrows, each arrow tip still sharp, spears longer than 2 men could carry. But most puzzling of all was a small device, covered in gears and complex designs. It did not look like a weapon, but like some kind of mechanical tool. Something out of place in history. Experts had no answer for it. To make things even more confusing, the weapons and objects all shared one incredible feature: they had not rusted, not decayed, not been touched by time. Tests revealed a thin coating over them, a type of anti-corrosion layer far beyond what was believed possible at that time. Even today, making something like that is not easy. How could ancient craftsmen have done it? For archaeologists and historians, this was a moment of shock. For decades, scholars had taught that Qin Shi Huang himself was the commander of the Terracotta Army, that no special general or leader was needed because the emperor was the ultimate leader. But this discovery broke that theory. Here was proof of a commander, hidden in a separate, secret tomb, surrounded by technology, art, and mystery far beyond the rest of the army. Who was he? Why was his name never mentioned in history? Why was his existence hidden? Was he erased deliberately? The debates began almost immediately. Some historians believe this commander was Qin Shi Huang's most trusted general, someone who had led great victories, but was kept secret for political reasons. Others thought he might not be a real historical figure at all, but a symbolic or mythical leader, placed there to serve a hidden purpose in the emperor's afterlife. But the most controversial theory of all was that the materials found in his weapons suggested advanced technology, something that seemed impossible for the time. Could it be that knowledge far ahead of his age existed back then? Or even more mysterious, could it have come from another source entirely? As soon as news of the discovery leaked, the world reacted with disbelief. Media outlets demanded photos, but the Chinese government kept everything under strict control. Only limited images and videos were released, all carefully chosen. Many reporters were not allowed near the site. Rumors spread that some artifacts had already been quietly removed and sent to secret labs. Government officials insisted it was for preservation, but many believed that the truth was too shocking to reveal to the world all at once. Some claimed the symbols on the walls matched modern scientific diagrams, even resembling star maps. Others said that in the early days of the dig, strange artifacts were taken away, never to be shown again. The discovery raised more questions than answers. If this commander truly existed, why was his identity erased from the records? Was he part of a secret order, a hidden mission, something the emperor wanted to keep in the shadows?